Students, today we are going to study about two refractions through a rectangular glass slab. Why are we calling it two refractions, or why are we talking about two refractions here? We will see when we move further with discussing this. Now let us suppose that KLMN is a rectangular glass slab, okay, and as you can see, this area represents the air and this is a rectangular glass slab, so it is a medium glass. Fine. Now let us suppose that a ray of light is incident obliquely on this rectangular glass slab. Now what does obliquely means? At an angle. Fine. Now we will draw a normal here. Okay. What is normal? It is a line perpendicular to this KL. Fine. Now let us name this ray as suppose this is point A and this is point B. Okay. So you can see that this ray is striking at point B and the angle formed by this incident ray with the normal is angle of incidence represented by I. Fine. Now as this strikes the surface of this rectangular glass slab, so this incident light is coming from air and striking the surface of this glass slab, and as we have studied that this ray will bend. Fine. Now just now we have studied about the bending of light, whether it will bend towards or away from this normal. So here we are using here we have air is a rarer medium and this is a denser medium. When light travels from rarer medium to denser medium, it is always bent towards the normal. Okay. So this ray of light is bent towards the normal. How can you see that? You can see that the angle formed here is less than the incident angle. And let us say that this angle is R1. Fine. Now, again after refraction, it again strikes the surface of this glass at plane MN. Again we will draw a normal at this plane, a line perpendicular to this plane. Fine. Now the angle which it makes with the normal is again is written as R2. Fine. These two angles R1 and R2, as you can see also, they appear to be equal to each other. They are actually equal to each other because these two are alternate angles. Fine. Now again after refraction at this surface, after striking this surface, this ray will now bend away from the normal. Why? Because now glass is a denser medium and it is coming back to the air, and air is a rarer medium. When ray travels from denser to rarer medium, it always bends away from the normal. Fine. It bends away from the normal. Okay. As you can see that the angle of refraction here is not equal to this angle, and this angle is now referred to as angle of emergence and it is denoted by small e. Fine. Now this ray was AB and this was point B. Now let us say that this is point C and this is D. Fine. So the ray entered through AB and it struck the surface at point B and got refracted at this point B. Fine. Here it bent towards the normal because it is coming from rarer to denser medium. Again after refraction, when it strikes the surface of this glass slab and enters the another medium, air, it is again refracted through an angle E, and it is now bent away from the normal as it is traveling now from denser medium to rarer medium. Fine. So these were the two refractions in case of rectangular glass slab. First refraction occurred at point B and the second refraction occurred at point C. First refraction occurred from rarer medium to denser medium, from air to the glass, and second refraction occurred from denser medium to the rarer medium, and it occurred from glass to air. Fine. So air and glass are two mediums here. I hope you all have understood this. Now, by Snell's law, we know that sine of angle I upon sine of angle R is equal to refractive index of second medium upon refractive index of first medium. Now when we talk about the first refraction, which is the first medium, it is air, and which is the second medium, it is glass. So in place of N2 we can write Ng, and in place of N1 we can write Na. Fine. Okay, now let us mark this as 1. Okay. This was when we were talking about first refraction. But now if we talk about second refraction, which occurred at point C, in this you can see that the first medium is glass and the second medium is air. So by Snell's law we can write here sine I upon sine R. Now it will not be R. Fine. In this case, it was I, angle of incidence, and angle of refraction was R1. Now, in second case, angle of this angle was R2 because it is equal to R1. So, we are referring it as R2. And this angle was angle of emergence. So, here it will become R1 and this will become not I, this will become R2 upon angle of emergence E. Fine. It will be equal to N2 upon N1, and N2 is now here air upon N1 is refractive index of glass. Fine. Let us denote this as 2. Now if we rearrange this one, we will get sine E upon sine R2 is equals to Ng upon Na. Let us mark this as 3. Fine. Now, by using 1 and 3, why are we using these? Because you can see that sine I upon psi R1 is equals to Ng by Na, and psi E upon sine R2 is also equal to Ng by Na. So, both the values are equal. So, these two can be equated. So, by this, by 1 and 3, we get that sine I upon sine R1 is equals to sine E upon sine R2. Fine. But we know, as I have already told you, that this R1, angle R1 is equal to angle R2. Fine. So these two will be now equal. These can be cancelled. Okay. Now we are left with sine I equals to sine E, or by this we can say that angle I is equals to angle E, or E is equal to I. Fine. So from here we get that the angle of emergence is equal to the angle of incidence. Fine. So this angle of incidence is equal to this angle of emergence. So by this we can conclude that the light emerges from rectangular glass slab in a direction parallel to to that in which it entered the glass slab. Now how are we saying this? Because as angle of emergence is equal to angle of incidence, if we extend this incidence ray forward, what we will find out that this emergent ray and this extended forward incident ray, they both are parallel to each other. Fine? They both are parallel to each other, which means that angle of emergence E at second boundary Mn of glass slab is equal to angle of incidence I at first boundary KL of the glass slab. Hence, if we name this B and if we name this as E, so we can say that BE is parallel to CD, or we can say that simply AB is parallel to CD. So from here we get that the light emerges from rectangular glass slab in a direction parallel to which it entered in the glass slab. Yes, it entered through the incident ray. So the emergent ray is parallel to incident ray. Fine. Now from here only we get another concept, which is the concept of lateral displacement. As you can see, this emergent ray is parallel to this incident ray extended forward. So the perpendicular distance between incident ray produced forward and this emergent ray, it is known as lateral displacement. Okay, it is known as lateral displacement. Fine. Now what does lateral displacement means? It simply means that the emergent ray is laterally displaced when it entered through the glass slab through AB. Fine. Now in this we can see that that this ray of light AB, it undergoes two refractions on passing through a rectangular glass slab. The light emerges out in a direction parallel to the direction of incidence of light. Yes, which means that net deviation suffered by the ray in two refractions is 0. Here it suffered a refraction, but after second refraction, the both the angles, angle of incidence and angle of emergent, they were equal. So we can say that the net deviation suffered by the ray in two refractions is 0. Now why is this happening? This is happening because the bending of the ray, as you can see, the bending of the ray at air glass interface KL is equal and opposite to the bending of ray at glass air interface Mn. Okay, fine. So we can say that this emergent, but we know that these two rays are not in a straight line. As you can see that the straight line of AB is this extended line, but CD is not in straight line with AB. So we can say that the emergent ray CD is shifted sidewards from the direction of original incident ray AB, and this is known as lateral displacement. This distance, this perpendicular distance between the forward extended incident ray and emergent ray is known as lateral displacement. I hope you understood the concept of two refractions through a rectangular glass slab and the concept of lateral